I bought a new pedal board. I couldn't lug around that boat anchor that I had, so I needed to find something else. So I bought an old Pedaltrain JR with some additional wings of metal on the outside, most likely aluminum. And I just threw on a couple of pedals because I noticed quite instantly that my current power brick, the engine room level 8 from Fender, doesn't really fit on this one as nicely as I thought it would. I also decided to buy some additional input jacks, both for the power cord and also for the outgoing left and right guitar signal. I saw on a couple of videos on social media that I think it was Omillion or someone like that was working on a Pedaltrain board, and they put some locking input jacks on that board, and I thought that was nice, so I went ahead and ordered some and just recently got them. So I'm gonna strip this board. I'm gonna find a good spot for the connections, and I'm going to fabricate some sort of sheet metal of some sort and put these jacks in that and stick it to the pedal board and see if I can't get all my pedals onto this board, which is slightly smaller than the one I'm usually having. So hopefully you'll see me remove the current pedals. I'll leave the felt part of the velcro. It's doing what it should, so strip it down, do some measurements, and start fabricating the input jacks. Somewhere to put those. Let's start there. I've already started to remove some of the cables and stuff like that. And at the same time, I will also brush off some of the pedals, a bit dusty and whatnot. I've tried a couple of my distortion pedals, and currently the Soul Food works quite well with the ACS1. That's quite nice. I will try to do some sort of wet-dry configuration as I've been using before. I will, I think, replace the memory buoy that I've been using up until now. I sold the guitar and bought the Keeley Echoes and the Walrus ACS1. I think, and the pedal board. I think that's a good enough bargain. So that was on sale, I think half price. So so far a really nice pedal. I like it. Well, let's get on with it. The reason I need the engine room power brick from Fender is because most of these digital pedals require quite a lot of power, and it's not just enough to power it by some smaller one. I've run it in the configuration of having the engine room together with the shocks sol, or as we say in Sweden, shocks sol. But anyways, so I'll try to get them to fit on this Pedaltrain, and hopefully I'll get to use all my pedals again. This is just velcroed for the sake of having something for our recent practice, but most likely it will need to fit somewhere else on the pedal board if I am to fit the large engine room. Just as a comparison, I will show you. Just remove all the cables. So this is the saw. You've seen that one before. This is the engine room. Quite a bit larger, quite a bit heavier, and given the profile of the pedal train, it's, I can't put it that way, of course. It will for sure touch the floor in a way that I don't like. It sort of wants to fall into in between, which is, that doesn't work either because I can't use the outputs nor the inputs. So it needs to sort of have something like that and sit somewhere, hopefully sit somewhere around there. I do think it will touch anyways. I'll just use the velcro that is currently sitting here and push down on that one. I try to see if I can, if it's riding on the corner of the power brick. That's an issue. So I need to find a way to get it to fit, because that's what I have. You have to work with what you have. And it's a bit too large to I don't really like where this is going. A slanted position, that's not working either. And removing something of the pedal train isn't an option either. Let's figure something out. Okay, so the idea that I have is to build something that raises the pedal train just so much that the output jacks and of course the power jack sits a couple of millimeters above the frame of the pedal train. If I drop it completely, they sort of get stuck in that way, in that position, which is not so favorable. But if I raise it up a bit, see if I can show you that without breaking anything. I would want it to sit somewhere like, let's see, come on, somewhere like there, for instance. So a centimeter or so, I think. Yeah, just about. That shouldn't be so hard. So I'll put Velcro on the top side and push it down there, because this part will go above the framing of the pedal train, and these will sit just above the framing on that side too. So that would be the most reasonable way to put it. Then I need to find a neat way to run the cabling, of course, but I see how that also could be a slight problem. I will need some sort of modification to run that neatly. Anyways, that's the solution I'm going for, so let's see. One other thing, I will show you that too. Both of these have this IEC jacks, but I would only want to have one power connection to the entire board. So I found a set of, and I'll show you, see where I have that one. So I'm going for the PowerCon solution for the power cable. So the neat thing with this is that it's locking. So just as the Speak-On, which also is locking, this is for running power. And I haven't decided yet, so I've bought two different types of female connectors. See which one I go for. And on signal wise, I've gone with these Neutrik connectors. So they lock the when you take the cable and put it in here, it locks down, and you need to push on that red tab to release it. That way no one will be able to yank the cable out, hopefully. So you need to release it before you yank it out. That's a neat thing. Also something I saw on social media. And of course, safety. You always need to have protection. This one goes on the inside of the power jack to protect from where the power jack is. You don't run the risk of being electrocuted. The finesse then to be able to power both the power bricks, I bought some sort of Y solution here and attached either this one together with that one over. I haven't decided which one I'm going to run with, but they are for the same purpose, and they fit nicely with a male connector here. So we'll see which one I go with. Cut this off, connect it to that one, run that over, and it splits out into two separate connectors. One a bit shorter than the other one, which makes it easier to run them instead of having a snake's nest of different kinds of power cables running. For sure I will have a lot of other types of cables running on this pedal board, so if these are shorter than they need to be, then that's a good thing. So this is the solution I run with. Apparently they also left I suppose that solution is to fixate this huge part of the cable somewhere on the pedal board or elsewhere. But I think this will work. I will be able to power both the sole and the engine room as soon as I get the engine room to stick to the pedal board in a nice fashion. See, they are no taller than that, so one goes to the engine room most likely, and the other one goes to the sole. And this long cable I need to cut somewhere to fit it nicely, but I'm thinking of having some sort of sheet metal attached over here on either side of the pedal board, most likely the left side, since you flip it over on the left side. That's usually where I want to have the connections, at least. And these are of course Neutrik, so they are reliable and proven. Where I might cheap out, this is also Neutrik, but I either go with that one, most likely, or I bought a cheaper one, which is, I think, C-Tronic. That's the same brand as the male connector, so if either fits better than the other, I would suppose that these fit the best, but on the other hand, the lugs on that one is easier to manage than this one. So that was the main reason. As I said, Neutrik is, well, they are Neutrik, so like that. So you stick it in there and twist it a quarter of a turn, and that locks it in place, and that also makes the connection, which you attach over here, and it's highlighted with neutral line, yeah, and ground. But if you're unsure, use an electrician to attach this one, because otherwise if you get electrocuted because you don't know what you're doing, then it will hurt in several different ways. So I think, looking at the left side of the board, and some of you might say, oh, don't put the power next to the signal cables. On the other hand, that's how I've been doing it for several years, so I think it works. There are other things that may be of a bigger concern. Anyways, so what I will have is a power connector and 2 signal outs on the side of the board. Let's see, something like that, I suppose, in some sort of metal housing or metal sheeting. And most likely I will screw or attach it like they did before here, so I'll have that to stick to, and I'll leave enough room so nothing gets in contact with it. Needs to be a lot of clearance in and around the connectors, but I think that is what, and it's a good thing to have this metal plating going over. That in turn also protects the cabling, because if someone happens to step in or near the pedal board in a not stepping on the pedals, but stepping on the cables, they will not step directly on the jacks or connectors, rather out here somewhere where it's just the cable itself. I think that's a neat solution. Another solution I saw was also to put it on the front, which that's doable too, definitely. Have a metal sheet. I think that was one of the solutions I saw, to put it up here on the front and sort of like that, and like this, and like that. But I can feel it already is quite tight, because you have the framing top and bottom of these. It's neat, that solution too, but still put some metal sheeting in front and have it like this. Perhaps. Haven't decided. Let's see. On the side or in the front. Either way works. So on with the metal fabrication then.